you've been waiting for. It's the
Yo,
Hello.
episode 2.
Yeah, we're finally here.
I know. Real quick, I just want to say thanks to the Nuremberg Code for our cool theme song. If you like metal, listen to them on Spotify, YouTube. They got a whole bunch of content on there as well. So if you like your metal, get onto it. They're awesome. Right. Today I got a guy who's been a student for 4 years, for just 4 plus.
Yeah, almost 5.
Yeah. Well, this year's kind of
Yeah, he's got
right
a
off.
window. Yeah.
Badass amateur kickboxer, MMA fighter, grappler, former instructor, and coffee making extraordinaire. Charlie, how are you, brother?
That is the best intro I could have imagined.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, it's all true.
If anything better than that, that was a good one. Exceeded expectations already.
Excellent. Well, it's all true, man. All true. Yeah. So you're on the hot seat today. Got questions? If you want, we can get right into it, or you can tell me what's been going on.
Well, not much has been going on, so let's just jump straight into it. Let's
Fair
go
enough.
into the deep end. Let's go.
Cool. All right. So you are originally from England,
Yes.
right? How old were you when you started martial arts, and how did you get into it?
I started martial arts. My first taste was in primary school.
Yep.
I think I was in grade 5 or 6. We had some judo instructors come to the school and did like an after school thing for like 6 weeks, and did that and was just amazed with how a kid can throw anyone,
Yep.
and it's just easy,
Yep.
and it just blew my mind. So I knew then I wanted to get into something like that, and I was looking in my town where I'm from back home, searching for judo.
Yeah.
Couldn't find it, but what was advertised everywhere was taekwondo. And I thought, oh, how much different can it be? I'll go do a class, give it a go, not realizing that it's completely on the opposite end of the spectrum.
Isn't it?
Yeah, so that was my first taste, a bit of judo, and then dove into taekwondo, and I loved it when I started anyway. So
Oh, cool.
I sort of took to striking
Yep.
from there. My school back in the UK, it's a lot different to the school I joined when I moved to Australia.
Yeah. How so?
It was a lot more old school. It was freezing cold on hardwood floors.
This was in England.
This is in the UK, so it's
Okay,
like
yeah.
2 degrees outside, raining in a
Yeah.
school hall,
Hard ass, man.
and just full contact.
Yeah. Right.
Not points.
Wow.
Full sparring gear.
Okay.
Full kickboxing. So pretty much like K1 rules.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
So that was
And then you came here, and the difference, it just wasn't full contact, or
yeah. It was the school I joined when I moved here. So I was 14
Yep.
when I moved over to Australia, and knew I needed to find a school straight away. Keep doing it, and the local taekwondo school walked in, and it was just night and day different. Nothing wrong with it,
Yeah.
but
Just not what you'd been doing at all.
yeah,
Really.
Point fighting.
Yep.
You wear the chest guards, and if you touch the chest guard, you get a point,
Yeah. Okay.
and then you break.
Right. So not very much like what you were doing at all.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Did you compete?
I did. I
Tell me about that.
I competed in the UK.
Yep.
There was a few like affiliated schools around, so we'd have like interclub sparring and things like that. So that was the extent of my competing back then. That's what,
How'd you go?
12 or 13, pretty good.
Yeah.
Not at like a national level or anything, but got experience.
Yeah.
I loved it. I was traveling around every few weeks and doing that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was great.
That is cool. That'd be a fun experience, huh? How long ago did you move here to Australia?
10 years ago.
10 years ago. And how long was it when you moved here before you started, I got to do martial arts again?
Oh, straight away.
Yeah, right.
Pretty much straight away. I got to blue belt in Taekwondo, which is like halfway to black belt. But then when I moved here, because it was sort of a different
system.
Different system. That's the best way of saying it. I started back at white belt again. And started working my way up again.
Right. How'd you feel about doing that? You cool with it? Or
I was cool with it. Like
you sort of understood why, and you had to get back to white. And
I guess it's just different curriculum and different focus. Like my school in England, we'd have a theory on our gradings, so we'd have to speak Korean.
Oh wow!
Yeah, that kind of stuff. You'd have to.
I always wanted to put some theory into our curriculum. Yeah, but you at least know the history of certain what you're doing. You know what I mean?
It was a great idea. Like I had to learn how to count to 10 in Korean.
Oh wow!
And when we do drills in class, you'd count in Korean.
It literally was like a class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then all the moves, you have to know the Korean names.
Oh, cool.
I can't remember them now, but it's like how Danaher always says the Japanese names and things. It was just like that.
Yeah, wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. That's a cool idea. What how did you discover MMA first?
How did I discover MMA? I think I discovered it when I was getting to sort of 17, 18, and the point Taekwondo wasn't doing it for me anymore.
Right.
Needed something a little bit extra.
Wanted to punch somebody.
Wanted to punch someone square in the face. And I saw the cliche thing you see at UFC.
Yep.
Saw it on like Fox Sports or something. And I remember the first fight that made an impression on me was John Jones against Gustafsson, the first one.
Right. Oh, the first one. Yeah, one. Well, yeah, yeah.
And then I saw that and I was like, I need to train.
Yep.
I need to find somewhere that does this and do it. But like back then there was nowhere in Bairnsdale in this area doing that.
Yeah, tell me about it.
At all. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my plan was if I was going to go to uni in Melbourne, I would start training when I moved.
Yep.
And then just so happened, Phil was like, "Oh, I work with this guy, does jiu-jitsu. He's gonna start rolling." And I was like, "Oh, I really want to start doing it when I go to Melbourne, but I might as well start now." And then
5 years later,
here we are.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. That is super cool. What are your first initial thoughts in the training for MMA compared to Taekwondo training? Like, obviously there's huge differences.
Yeah.
But the approach towards it, like, was it more fun? Like,
what I love the most about MMA is that it is so individual and unique based on who you are and what you like to do.
The freedom.
The freedom behind it. I grew up playing like soccer as well.
Yep.
And I sort of got to a point where
might have something to do with those leg kicks then, huh?
Yeah, that's got a lot behind it. That I got to a point where I was at a certain level and I couldn't really go any further. Like my ability wasn't any further. And what I love about MMA is that there isn't a ceiling on your ability because you just keep learning. You just keep getting better.
Absolutely.
Like your physical attributes that play a part, but it's literally
if you shine in an area more so than another area, you can sort of gravitate towards that and make that work for you.
Exactly. So it's so unique. You're not boxed in to a position. You're not boxed into anything. You find what works for you and you go for it. Yeah,
it's good, isn't it?
That's what
Who are your influences in the sport? Aside from Gustafsson, obviously.
Yeah. My biggest influence for kickboxing is Nicky Holskin.
Yeah.
Gotta be.
Hell yeah.
I remember
Technician,
Yeah, you told me go and find someone and watch them, and he's who I stumbled across in Glory.
Yep.
During that golden time and
mimic
just, and just listen, just watched him constantly.
Yeah, good guy to watch, man. Like, recommend that to anybody who wants to kickbox. Go study Nicky Holskin, man.
Go study him and Joe Valtellini too.
Yeah.
Those two.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, their fights are so good. Sucks about Joe having to cut his career short.
But it's the right thing to do.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it just sucks that it happened. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, not that he did it under circumstances. It's just, it's a shame, man.
And that last fight's such a good fight.
Yeah.
The
Raymond
Bomb
Daniels?
fight. No, there's Mark the Bomb fight.
Oh, right. Yeah, yeah.
Beats him in a decision. Knocks him down with this
Yeah.
the head kick with the end of his combination. It's like 5 left hands, mixing them up, and then just puts his head kick on and flattens him.
Like Gokhan Saki with that left hand.
Yeah. And then I know he gets up and they finish the decision. But he was in a room for like 2 weeks after that fight.
Yeah,
In a dark
lights
room.
off and migraines and whatever. And yeah, 2-week migraine would be enough to make you
Make
not
you
want to
quit-
do it.
Quit anything.
Especially when he was like, you know, you help special needs kids as a teacher and plenty of other stuff going on.
Like he's a good analyst too.
Yeah.
Commentator. He doesn't need to do it.
Yeah, he's good. He's real good. How long were you training before you decided you wanted to compete in, say, kickboxing or MMA?
I sort of got into it
Like with the intention to compete?
with the intention to compete.
Okay.
Because I've always been in sports and I've always competed. So if I take something like that up, it's to see if I can do it.
Yep.
It wasn't so much jiu-jitsu. That didn't come till later, but I knew I would want to compete in kickboxing,
Right.
and MMA too.
Yep.
And then after,
Because you really focused for a little while on the kickboxing, so to put the jiu-jitsu aside, and
I sort of picked that to focus on.
it shows.
Yeah.
I don't mean taking anything away from your jiu-jitsu. I mean your striking. Yeah. Everybody knows about that.
Yeah, well, I came to a point. I thought, I don't think we weren't in a position to compete in MMA.
Yeah, I remember after they legalised the cage and we couldn't compete in the ring anymore.
Yeah,
We sort of, yeah.
so I sort of thought, what am I going to do? I'm going to have to compete in striking, or I'm going to have to compete in grappling.
Yep.
And
Nicky Holskin had you all pumped for.
he did.
Yeah.
I just enjoy smashing people's legs too much to.
It is fun.
So that's what I dove into, doing that.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Can't wait to get back into MMA though.
Oh yeah, I'm pumped for it.
Yeah. It's going to be good. And you've competed in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah.
Did a Renegade and then the trials last year too.
So give me an idea of what the difference in your mentality in approaching a grappling match to a kickboxing match.
I think when I competed at Renegade that time, I took in my kickboxing mentality into grappling.
How so?
So I was searching for finishes,
Yeah.
and then in the point system with jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
I learned a couple of, I think it was twice, I dove on submissions trying to get a submission,
position.
and gave it up and lost. I lost it. I think I lost the first one because I jumped on.
Yeah, I remember
now.
who was refereeing at the time sort of let you know what you did wrong.
Yeah.
afterwards, which is always good.
I pulled guard for a triangle.
Yeah, and
I
because it
rolled onto
wasn't
my back, and I didn't have it hooked up, so it was I lost point
as a
got
sweep.
points. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We live, we learn, brother.
in kickboxing, I'd like to put pressure on, throw volume, and
Yep.
um,
Just that aggressiveness, man.
yeah,
Yeah. I think it's kind of a staple from our gym
yeah.
because that's how I like to
So
go about
how
it.
it's been drilled into us.
I think it's because like I come from like my grappling background is more MMA orientated and has to be that way.
Yeah,
You have to see something and jump on it. You know, you don't have the time to sort of set things up when you're getting punched in the face and all that other stuff. So, yeah, everybody's pretty aggressive from our gym, and I think it's good.
yeah. And you see it in our grappling matches. It's a lot of submissions and
Yeah. A lot. We
Things like
go
that,
for the
we
kill.
go
I
for
encourage
it.
to go for the kill.
Yeah.
I think that's what jiu-jitsu should be. I think you should go for the kill.
and if you come by training when we're rolling, there's there's heaps of submissions all the time. Everyone's going for it.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody wants to go for the kill. I like
Yeah,
it.
it's good. It's
So
a
it
good
should be.
mentality to have.
That's the way nature intended jiu-jitsu. Nah. But yeah, aggressive jiu-jitsu is good, I think. I mean, obviously there's a time to not be, but of course, but I don't know, I like it. I've always liked it. Matt Serra from back in the day in the UFC, when I first seen him doing jiu-jitsu in MMA, was like super aggressive, training like submission attempts together one after the other, and then I learned that was Henzo's style, and so on and so on. which is like Danaher's guys as well. They're like crazy aggressive.
Yeah, well,
And that's all from Team Henzo, Sarah, all that, you know.
Yeah, exactly. You see, Danaher goes on all the time about going for the submission,
Yeah, man.
going for the kill.
Yeah, I've always believed that. I think the EBI is freaking awesome.
Yeah, they need to bring them back.
Yeah.
I'm actually not I prefer the EBIs over the combat jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, so do I. I didn't think I would. Being an MMA guy, you know, I thought combat jiu-jitsu is going to be right up my alley, and I was like, I mean, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's fun. And it's very interesting because it shows how people open up certain things because of strikes and how they sacrifice things, you know.
Yeah.
It changes things a lot, and I think that's kind of what it's for.
Yep.
To
But you're not getting the top level, the elite grapplers in
Doing
those
it.
combat jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, that's
too.
true.
You're not getting your death squad and things like that.
that would
doing-
be amazing.
But-
That would be amazing. Gary Tonin would be good for it.
Yeah, oh, he'd clean up, I reckon.
I think he would too. Yeah. I like watching him as an MMA fighter. I'd like to see him and Kron rematch, but an MMA.
In the MMA fight.
That
That
would
would
be
be insane.
Incredible. That would be, mad. Who would you get? Who would you pick for that one?
See,
I know it's a tough one.
it's very tough. I think Kron would get it done.
It's hard to say.
I think
Because I think Danaher's guys are very well trained for MMA, but then Kron's Hickson's son. Which, the only reason I say that is obviously he's amazing off his own merit, but Hickson's jiu-jitsu is all street and punch defense jiu-jitsu. It's not sport jiu-jitsu.
yeah.
So Kron would be so designed for it.
I
too.
think Gary would bring in that the technical MMA that he sort of possesses from like Danaher and from like sort of like a GSP-esque.
Oh yeah,
style.
he's still super aggressive though.
Yeah, and I think Kron's style of just a dog would I reckon he'd be able to beat him.
I just want to see that fight.
I've never thought of that before actually, but
Really?
yeah, that
After their jiu-jitsu match,
yeah, that's
like man,
crazy.
that's got to happen. That fight, one day it's got to happen.
Dana White, if you're listening to this,
Exactly.
sign
Gary Tonin. We want to see that fight. Comp record for novice / amateur kickboxing. A lot of the guys you fought were pretty established amateur guys as well. 14-1-1. Pretty bloody good, man.
It's not bad, is it?
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. We're going to have you fighting for that title before COVID ruined everything.
Everything.
That sucks. Hometown and all, buddy.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Been amazing.
Would have been awesome.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Hey,
One day.
there'll be other opportunities, better
Yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah, definitely, man.
So
It's going to be good. Do you plan to continue to compete?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm itching.
Yeah.
As soon as
Awesome.
I can, I
Cool.
want to get back in kickboxing, MMA, grappling, whatever.
Yep. Brilliant.
Just having 6 months off is,
Oh, it's hard.
and
Yeah.
so I've set up my home gym, but it's not the same.
Yeah,
Not
definitely.
the same being it.
It's not the same doing what we did, how we got to go in, use grappling dummies, and
Yeah.
I mean, it's good to be in the gym. It's good to be around the team and be doing something, but it's not.
Well, grapple dummies don't like gargle when you're choking them. It's just not as satisfying.
Yeah, it's just I don't know. I guess I like to react off people when they roll,
Yeah.
and
So
if I can't do that, I can't set traps. I can't. It's like because that's what I enjoy doing.
like counter fighting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I love counter fighting. Even in striking, I love counters. There's nothing better.
Nothing better.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
Nothing better than a sweet counter.
indeed. That's why I'm a massive Roy Jones fan. His counters are just ridiculous, unbelievable. What's your favorite moment in all of your competition?
Oh,
Take a minute, think about it. But out of all, you've competed a lot. You've competed in MMA, kickboxing, Muay Thai, and Jiu-Jitsu. All those moments, what comes to mind when I say what would be Not your biggest accomplishment either. Just your favorite moment.
It's a favorite moment.
Yeah.
I think there's a few.
Yeah, go for it.
Up there would be knocking someone down for the first time.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's
dropping a sucker.
and with my hands too. Like,
yeah,
I've always liked my kicks, but my hands were non-existent. And then to be able to,
we'll talk about that for a minute.
Yeah.
Coming to an MMA gym as a Taekwondo guy, man, that was a bit of a wake-up call.
You have to be prepared to let a lot of the training go. And I think that comes from a lot of, especially traditional striking martial arts. You can't come into MMA and just do that. You need to.
Those days are gone.
You need to let a lot of it go and embrace other aspects. Embrace your Muay Thai, embrace wrestling and boxing as well.
Because it's all needed.
It's all needed. And little bits from everything. Like I use my Taekwondo and my distance management and sort of some spinning kicks and things. But it's absolutely got its place. You've just got to pick and choose what works best, and figure a way to incorporate that into your stance and everything else and timing and stuff. And knowing what it feels like to get kicked in the leg. And kicking legs.
Because there's no checking in Taekwondo or anything.
No,
I think I was in a Taekwondo class once and I seen a kid just out of reaction maybe he just lifted his leg and he got in heaps of trouble. He checked the kick and the other kid was on the ground like, on my shins.
Yeah, they teach block it with your forearm, low block.
Leg versus forearm.
Not going to end well.
Nah, I don't think so. And drop your guard.
Drop your guard.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. So it would have been a bit of a wake-up call. So going from really having no boxing at all.
Never boxed. Never boxed in my life.
Getting to a point where you ended up dropping a dude.
Yeah. That showed personally the progression.
Absolutely.
You don't see it day to day, but then coming in and it was just a jab cross left hook.
Yeah. And it was beautiful.
Went down on the left hook.
It was beautiful.
So that was good for me. And then winning my first fight after losing my first two in a row.
Yeah.
Finally,
I remember that, right? Of course, because I think Brett.
Oh, so much shit.
He was motivating for you though.
It did
in that way.
That's the first two MMA fights.
Yep.
And lost them both. And then I've never, if Brett's listening to this, I've never copped more in my life than that drive home after that second loss.
Yeah, that's right, because he won.
Yeah, he won good.
Yeah, he did.
That's when he dropped the dude and picked
that
him
was
up
a great
and
fight.
Slammed him. And then he was showing me his winner's trophy and saying, one day, Charlie, you'll get one of these. I was like, trying not to swear.
Hey, man,
now.
Seth was in the same boat as you too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Right?
So, and then I went into that kickboxing fight and I said, I'm not going to lose. Not going to lose this one.
Yeah.
And then
that was a good day.
Won like 13 in a row, 12 in a row.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good.
That's a hell of an effort.
Yeah.
Quite a streak.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you've got some redemption in MMA. In other words, you want to, because your first losses were MMA fights.
Yeah.
And then you started winning when you did kickboxing.
And I won kickboxing.
So is that I want to get that MMA victory?
Now I am a lot more comfortable on the ground.
Absolutely.
Those first two losses, I was like,
hey man, you got mounted that time for like a whole round, and he couldn't do anything. I was super proud of you just for that. The fact that he couldn't do anything, and he had all that time in that position, he still couldn't do anything.
Yeah,
that in itself is a massive accomplishment because that guy was far more experienced. So small victories, bro.
Yeah. No, I've never bucked harder in my entire life than I did in that round.
And what were you thinking while you were doing it?
If I stopped bucking, I remember thinking, it doesn't matter how much of a beating this dude's going to put on me. If I'd stop bucking,
Steve's going to kick your ass.
Steve's going to kill me if I stop.
No, well, at least it motivated you. That's good, and it worked. I mean, you may not have had whatever to get out of there at that point, but you didn't get finished.
Yeah,
and
that's why
I remember exactly. I remember you being happy about that, and rightfully so.
I'm pretty sure that dude had like a pro fight a couple of months later too.
Yeah, he did.
So
he did.
That's all right.
He enjoyed fighting novices. So, yeah. So your favorite moments would be dropping that dude.
Yeah, finishing dude with leg kicks.
Oh, of course.
That's right up there.
Really quickly too.
Yeah, and that was about 30 seconds, 40 seconds.
Yeah, something like that.
I remember you screaming out no leg kicks, and all I can hear is leg kicks.
I'm going to give him a chance.
And then
Like, back off a bit.
Zeph's dad screaming, kill him.
Kill it.
Kill it. Yeah,
Kill
kill it.
Yeah, that's right. He's talking about his leg. And I was sort of like, you know, the guy was a boxer and he took like 2 leg kicks and he was like, this sucks. That's why I was like, all right, let the dude, don't kick his leg anymore. So I'm like, no more kicks. And I think you're hearing more kicks.
Oh, I was more kicks, leg kicks. He came out wearing Muay Thai shorts too. So I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
This is going to, it's Lilydale.
Yeah.
You don't know who you're going to fight until you're in the ring.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I looked him up and down. He was long, looked pretty long and wearing Muay Thai shorts. I'm like, okay.
Kicks? Yeah.
Kicks. And it wasn't.
It wasn't at all.
Poor dude rode a motorbike. He had to ride his motorbike home afterwards.
He had some trouble walking. Well, I don't know if he ever kickboxed again, but I'm sure he'll learn a lot that day.
Yeah, I hope he did.
Yeah. I'm sure he did. I'm sure he did. Talk to me a bit about training in Thailand.
Yeah, so that was awesome.
Isn't it? It's an eye-opener.
Yeah.
And it's quite motivating, I think.
Yeah.
Inspiring.
When I got back to the gym after being in Thailand, I was like sort of hooked on Muay Thai and power kicks.
Yeah. Yeah, well your kicks got really good too.
Like
your leg kicks, I should say, specifically got much better.
I realized just a couple of tricks they told me about engaging my hips more and driving through when I kick just took them to just that next gear.
Yeah. They're an interesting bunch to train with though, right?
Oh, but they're the best.
Oh, of course. Yeah, I'm not, I don't mean interesting
I
in a bad way at all. I just mean it's an eye-opener, man. It's
taken to this gym in the middle of nowhere by this taxi driver because his brother was a trainer or something. I was like, yeah, whatever, take me. And he dropped me off and he's like, oh, I'll be back in 2 hours. Like, all right.
Will you?
Walked around. Look around this gym. I'm the only Westerner there.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just
super
shredded Thai, just beasts. And I walk in, they're smashing the bag, they're skipping.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay, it's like 35 degrees or something ridiculous. Yeah. And being from England, I don't do the best in the heat.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
So I got in the skipping rope and I've never sweat more in my entire life. And we're doing pads, lots of pads. And then in between rounds, push-ups. Yeah,
that's a good break in between rounds. But you notice how they go super hard on pads and not super hard in sparring.
Yeah.
The sparring's almost like, playful timing. It's all about timing and, yeah.
Yeah.
It's because they fight so often, though.
Exactly.
That's where they get their conditioning, yeah.
Yeah, I remember the pads were hard. Like 6 or 8 rounds, something just kept going in the heat. Just power shots, one after that, bang, bang. And me, I'm more of a combination fighter. Like I like to put hand combinations and finish with a kick, whereas they just kick.
Power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'd throw things the way I've learned how to throw them, and they'd be like, no. Like with my right hand, I like to throw my right hand really straight, and they're like, no, you get more power if you come out like this, and I'm like, oh, yeah, but
you take it all in, man, and
it's like what I said before. You take a
little
bit.
Has a use.
You take a little bit from everything,
exactly.
And you I think I don't know. I don't want to say Bruce Lee said that, but you take a little bits from every.
Bruce Lee said it.
Yeah.
Study everything, use what works.
Yeah, exactly.
Discard the rest.
Exactly. Yeah. So those big kicks, use them, and then I use what I've been taught in boxing for my hand.
Just like we were talking about with Taekwondo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a something for everything. It's always there. Got another one for you. Get your thinking cap on. Top 5 fighters in any discipline of all time.
My top 5?
Your top 5?
My favourite 5?
Your favourite. No, they don't have to be like you know, the best, just who do you know, like who is your top 5? In other words, it doesn't have to be based on accomplishment.
Yeah.
Just who do you like?
My
Any
favourite.
discipline.
Well, we've already said Nicky and Joe Valtellini.
Yep.
Nicky Holskin. Liam Harrison's up there now. I love
Beast.
that man's style.
Yeah.
It's just
I love watching him fight.
the leg kicks and the hooks. Oh, you put me on the spot here. Trying to think.
So you're 3 in already. You got 2 to go.
Yeah, Tyson. Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson.
Both Tysons. Tyson Fury too. I'm going to start reeling them off now. I need 10.
Yeah, that's already 5. So you can go 10 if you want.
Oh, I haven't even done grappling yet.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, I'll do this. 2 of each discipline.
okay.
And I'm talking, doesn't have to be Muay Thai. You can just keep it kickboxing, boxing, MMA, grapplers.
My
So you're 2 kickboxers.
2 kickboxers would have to be Nicky Holskin and Joe Valtellini.
Okay.
And their fight together is my favourite fight of all
it's
time.
crazy too. It's so good.
Whenever anyone new comes into kickboxing class, I say, go and look this up on YouTube.
Excellent.
This is your homework.
Yep, brilliant.
What are we? 2 boxers.
Yep. The 2 Tysons or?
Yeah. I was raised watching like Ricky Hatton,
Yeah, of course.
Emir Khan,
Yep.
those sort of Northern English
Absolutely,
fighters.
yeah.
MMA. You're gonna hate this one, but the Count, Mike Bisping.
Oh, I don't hate it, man.
I just love his.
I just wish he never behaved and did half the stuff he did. That's all.
I
Not to
think
ever take anything away from him as a fighter.
he is the epitome for me of someone who wasn't naturally
Hard
a
worker.
freak,
Yep.
but he had the work ethic and the
Absolutely.
that hard work got him there.
Yep.
So I
And
relate
persistence,
to that
man. He
because-
stuck around for a long time before he got that belt.
exactly.
That's what I loved to see when he won that belt.
Yeah.
The fact that he knocked out Rockhold was cool because Rockhold needed some humble pie, I got to say. But yeah, the fact that he stuck around for so long, so many, got so close and then not, and then all these situations, and then finally, before he, retires, he got
Finally
that belt.
got it.
Yeah.
Because I'm not the most physically naturally gifted fighter. I think a lot of my success is just come from hard work, just working hard.
Yep.
Like I'm not big. I'm not like naturally strong.
Same
just,
as me,
just
dude,
a lot
yeah.
of just technique.
Yeah.
So and just being a little bit of a dog.
Yep.
So that's I see Bisping in that way.
Yep.
And that's where I draw a lot of inspiration from him from that.
Yep.
Who else in MMA?
And he's from the same place you're from.
You're very close, yeah. Very
Not
close.
biased, nothing. Just,
Not biased. I've just realised pretty much everyone I've listed is like from northern England.
Hey, that's fair enough.
Who is? And then I haven't really spoken about this a lot, but GSP's up there
Yeah.
is one of my biggest influences and who I think's
What was it about
The best.
GSP that,
the way you can mix everything together. The way he puts the
absolutely.
striking into the
I
the
think he's
wrestling.
still the greatest of all time to be able to do that
Yeah.
element of MMA.
I just think each aspect of his game so clean.
Yeah.
And
Perfectionist.
that comes from having probably the best MMA corner of all time.
Not just that, it also comes from the fact that he decided to seek out all the best in individual sports.
Yeah.
He was the first guy I've seen do that. I mean, everyone used to come from a tradition, like a background, more of a wrestling or jiu-jitsu or whatever, I guess. But I've seen he had no college wrestling, high school wrestling, none of that. He was a karate guy,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, he would go and I think he trained with like the Human Olympic boxing team.
Yeah.
He used to train with those guys, Canadian wrestling team, the Danaher squad. He would go out, seek out the very best he could in each.
And then
each,
tied it all together with for us.
for us. That's the man. Yeah.
There's a photo of him. I can't remember which fight. It might have been like the Johnny Hendricks fight, and it's just before they're about to start, and it's the photo's taken from the center of the octagon looking out, and you can see him there with the banner, like the sponsor banner behind him, and then there's the three. It's like
the three would be Phil Nurse,
yeah, and
Danaher,
then Danaher and
for us. Yeah, what a team!
It's just
What a team!
it's incredible.
And then when he beat Bisping, that had to suck for you, didn't it?
It was bittersweet.
Yeah,
I knew it was going to happen.
yeah. Freddie Roach in his corner for that fight,
Yeah.
which is what did the handiwork. That adjustment he made when he was countering Bisping's jab with the right hand, and then I think Bisping started throwing something after that.
Throwing the hook to counter the right hand. Yeah, yeah.
And then I think Freddie Roach told GSP to throw your left hook after that, and that's what. Yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah, it just shows the level.
It was just so surreal and weird. Sorry to see Freddie Roach coaching in the octagon.
Yeah,
That to me was the weirdest thing ever. Like, yeah, that was really strange.
and then I don't know, grapplers.
Grapplers.
I hate.
Like, who do you enjoy watching?
I enjoy watching Gary Tonin,
Yep.
and then
He's
just
awesome.
like you go with like Gordon Ryan and stuff as well. But I can't. I really like Gordon Ryan as a grappler. That's about as much as I say on that. And then, got to be Craig Jones.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like he's just the man.
Yeah. No, he's very successful, that's for sure.
And then we're gonna talk about how he got successful after he came to Bairnsdale MMA, right?
Okay. We better bring it up.
We got to put that into the world.
I mean, the same year that he trained with us was the same year into ADCC.
Yeah, he went straight from the shed to ADCC, and I saw you took him aside and gave him a few. Oh no, that was Seth. He rode with Seth, and then he started taking out everything. What was the secret?
That's the
Seth?
secret. Yeah, that is the secret. That's right. How, if at all, has the training at the gym helped you outside of the gym?
I think
Like martial arts in general, I guess.
yeah, it's given me a confidence,
Yep.
self-confidence, and I think it gives you a lot of respect and a lot of humbleness isn't a word, but you get what I'm trying to say.
It is today, man. It's a word
It
today.
is now. It just to respect everyone, because you don't know who they are, you don't know what they can do. The self-confidence of being able to walk into a room and sort of not be afraid or scared of other people.
Yep. Yeah, that's a big one.
That's been a big thing.
Yeah, has that helped you with work?
Yeah,
Translated to your work lot?
translated into being able to stick up for myself and stand my ground and things like that.
Yeah.
Um,
I've definitely seen that difference in you over the years.
yeah,
Massively.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's the biggest thing. If you let someone get away with disrespecting you, then it's going to keep happening.
Yeah, that's right.
So you got to
Don't have
it.
that.
Yeah.
I don't have that. Yeah. No, awesome. So, what fights have we got coming up? What's happening?
What's up next? Is Khabib and Gaethje?
Holly and Aldana.
Oh, that's the next one. Who else is on that card? I'll kick myself when I find out.
Right, you just entertain the folks while I fucking have a look.
Who is it? I'll let you have a look. But yeah, Khabib and Gaethje is the next pay-per-view, which is
Really? That's the next one.
That's in October,
Ooh. Oh,
which is
really?
in. It's like I think it's 3 or 4 weeks away now.
Okay, here we go. Sorry. Holly and Aldana. De Castro versus Felipe. Duraname versus Pena.
Yeah.
That's the fight.
I think that's the fight I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's the fight I really want to see. That's going to be good. Who's on the Khabib card? Versus Gaethje. Who you got for that one, by the way?
I have got Gaethje in that fight.
Right.
Yep. I watched Dan Hardy did. Dan Hardy is
he's amazing, isn't he?
Has the best analyst videos
so good.
out there.
Yep.
He did like an hour on it. And I think Khabib's Gaethje's style, especially now, I think being in with no crowd,
I like
does
it.
him massive favors.
Okay.
Does Gaethje massive favors.
Why is that?
I think he's a lot more clinical when he doesn't have the hype of the crowd behind him.
Is that based on the
Tony fight?
Right. Or do you think it's just maturity in training with Trevor Whitman?
It could be a combination. It could, but you see him in the Tony fight.
Oh, he looked amazing.
Compared to other fights,
that
where
is
a bit more
such
scrappy.
A dangerous dude. Somebody who's proven to be as durable, has the heart and the power as him, turning into a technical fighter.
Yeah.
That's terrifying.
It's so terrifying. And Trevor Whitman is the genius to bring it out.
Oh, he's good too.
His corner work.
So many good coaches now.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
I appreciate his corner work. It's so good. And like him and Justin are just a great team.
They are,
I think
yeah.
Just when they sat down in the Tony fight and just straight away, and he's like, take 10% off your shots. You're trying to knock him out. Just be clean.
He's good. He's got a lot of good fighters now.
Yeah, Rose.
Yeah. And I don't know, there's a couple others I can't think of off the top of my head, but there's definitely some really good ones. A lot of people are going to him now.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is cool.
I think he has quite a small, tight team.
I think he does too.
Anyway, so it's like...
You know the dude like sews and makes all his own pads and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I think he's starting to sell them now. I was on the website the other day.
He looks like he's got some pretty cool, innovative stuff too.
Yeah, top quality stuff.
Yeah. So, oh man, what a fight. And the records too. I mean, Gaethje's 22-2.
And those two fights, like he
knows how to win.
Could have won, but got carried away.
Yeah.
And got clipped. What was that? Alvarez and Poirier.
Yeah. Yeah, two, champions as well, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, my first gut feeling when they announced his fight was Gaethje. Mm-hmm. But then I'm like, I've said that so many times about Khabib.
Yeah, every time, doesn't it?
Like, honestly, man, like, I'm not a Conor fan. The whole world knows that. But when they were fighting, I was just like, man, I don't want to watch this because I know what's going to happen. Conor's going to tag him. He has to close the distance to take him down. Conor's going to get him. To the point where I was like, I'm going fishing. Yeah. Like, I was just so confident that it was like, oh, okay, right, cool. And then I think while I was fishing, I sort of checked it. I was like third round in or second round in, and he's just smashing him. I was like, what is happening?
Knocked him down. Oh, briefly knocked him down in the second round. And
I think it was the second round where we were standing over him and just went crazy.
Teeing off.
Yeah. So, that taught me to, all right, okay. All right.
I love Gaethje's style as a fighter. Especially now, a little bit more calculated. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
With Trevor in his corner and his...
it's like Gaethje 2.0.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No crowd, I think, is going to be a big factor for Gaethje. I'm a strong believer on that, and I think he's going to do it.
Shock the world. I would hate for Khabib to lose first fight after his father died. That'd be horrible. I'd hate for that to happen.
Gonna suck.
I thought he should have, I'm not going to say people should retire, but I think the fact that he did the whole journey with his dad, it should have ended with his dad.
But I think his dad has had a plan.
He did. He had him to retire at 30 and fight these people.
Yeah.
And GSP at the end. That was his dad's plan, so he's going to, from what I understand, he wants to fulfill that best he can. And GSP's down because you said something about just when I was out, I thought I was out. There's like a mob reference or something he put up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. So that means he's entertaining the idea. He's done a test weight cut to 155. He's
They should do it at 165.
No, I think 155. I'd like to see GSP make 155. I think it'd suit him better than 185.
Yeah,
For sure.
He was thick at 185.
And he made himself sick.
Yeah.
To keep the weight on, so he's a smaller dude, very smart, very scientific. He's like the first fighter out of everybody that did really scientific training.
Yeah.
Like, he did some crazy stuff I'd never seen anyone do. I seen him do this thing where he's laying on his back and they've electrified his abdomen.
Yeah.
So it's all tense. So he can't tense it up and had to constantly lift his arms and legs off the ground by literally just using the joint muscles to do it. You couldn't use your stomach muscles to. Yeah. Like that was in like 2006.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He revolutionized it.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what I mean. The fact that he would go out and study specifically in all these disciplines, like he was way ahead of his time.
All into like gymnastics and training underwater and
functional
stuff.
strength, all functional stuff. Yeah, absolutely. So, right. So we're kind of both picking Gaethje there, aren't we?
Yeah, yes. I know. I think Gaethje's going to be the underdog, and I love an underdog, so I'll go and go.
I don't necessarily want him to win. Yeah. I don't care. When I say I don't care, I mean I like both of them. Whoever, whatever. I would just love to have one figure in MMA to retire undefeated as a champion.
Yeah.
With no questions, like, I never fought this guy. You know what I mean? And that Khabib is so close to being that dude. Fedor was almost that guy. He never fought in the UFC, granted, but then he just dropped the ball. And Khabib has not.
And I think Khabib's style for that is the best, just smashing people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's no doubt in any of those wins, really.
The threat and the idea of his... It's like what we were talking about before, how people just stand in front of Anderson back in the day and they just stand in front of Israel. They're, like, mesmerised. It shuts down their game a little bit. Khabib, his grappling is that good, it shuts down strikers' games.
Yeah.
They don't want to commit. So he knows that, and he just runs in with flying knees and closes the distance. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be that easy with Gaethje, man. I think it's going to be...
It's going to be different.
Pins, needles, edge of your seat type fight, I think. I really do. Which is awesome.
If Tony couldn't do it, being so unpredictable, it's a different kind of fighter, but I was thinking Tony...
But Tony's like obviously a good wrestler, but he's not...
It's not Khabib, but I thought I wasn't expecting Gaethje to get it done so well against Tony.
I honestly didn't know what was going to happen in that fight.
Yeah.
I had no idea. Because you never know with Tony.
Exactly. You can't make
unpredictable. Yeah. And durable and always finds a way.
And what sort of astounded me is that at the end of that fight, like the finishing sequence when he turns away, like turns his back and shakes his head, like you're making Tony Ferguson turn away and shake your head.
Yeah,
how
that's a
hard
good point.
Did you hit him?
That's a good point. Because he gets dropped in every single fight.
Literally.
I think leading up to that fight, I watched a bunch of Tony's fights, and he would get dropped early in every fight, and somersault out the way and whatever, or do something crazy and come back and win. But yeah, you're right. I mean, I thought the same thing when he's walking away shaking his head, like, ooh, he hits so hard.
That's it, hard.
So hard. Co-main event. Whittaker, Cannonier.
Oh, right.
Oh, my God. Come on, Rob. That's a tough fight, man. That's a tough fight. I think Cannonier's a dark horse of the division.
Massive dark horse. He started off at heavyweight, didn't he?
I think he did. I think he's a really big dude. Yeah. But he's just so good. He's well-rounded. He's a strong wrestler. Good hands. But Whittaker's the same as Khabib. Every time I'm like, don't know, man. He just exceeds your expectations.
Pulls it off.
Yeah. It's like, God, man. Every time. Yeah. Like Romero. Come on. Who beats Romero?
Only the best.
At that point.
Yeah.
No one. So, yeah. Whittaker's always got surprises. It's good. Volkov versus Wild Harris, another good fight.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know. Who do you have in the Whittaker fight, by the way? I'm not going to go through all these, just the first few.
I got to say Whittaker.
Of course.
Got to back him.
But who do you think will win that stylistically? I mean, obviously we're going for Whittaker, right?
Yeah,
For example, yesterday I was going for Costa, but I knew that Easy would win.
Yeah, I think Whittaker's sort of revitalized.
Yeah.
Fought well against Darren Till.
Did, yeah.
So, and I'm thinking experience-wise as well, he's got the edge there. So,
yeah,
I'm hoping he takes it.
He's fought some of those sort of wrestlers too, like Brunson and that.
Romero, he's fought the best wrestler.
Of course, yeah. True, we just said that. Yeah, yeah. Of course, Romero. I mean, obviously the second fight's controversial.
Yeah, and Jacare, like he didn't get taken. Did he get? I don't think.
He did. He ended up getting taken down at one point, but just as he said, stuck to his basics. He reckons everyone freaked out when they get taken down by Jacare, so they try and do all this fancy.
Yeah,
and he just said, "I just stuck to my basics and got back up." like, what?
Kicked him in the head.
I couldn't believe he did that, man. But I think there might have been a back taken or something. There was like a bad position, and he shook him off and got. I'm like, what?
I think I remember watching the fight, and I think it was like a body lock or something. He took his back and dragged him down, or along those lines. And I just thought, this is it.
Yeah, as you do when
you don't
Jacaré's
get dragged down by Jacare and get up.
Exactly. Yeah.
And you got up.
Yeah, that was amazing. That was amazing.
That's a good fight.
It is a good fight. There's a few good fights on here, actually. Yeah, Volkov and Wild Harris. I don't know. I like Wild Harris.
Yeah.
I always go for Wild Harris.
Is he the dude that lost his daughter recently?
Yeah.
Did he lose to...
He lost, yeah. It was really, really, really sad that he came out after that and then lost that fight.
Yeah.
But all that aside, I just like the dude as a fighter. I think he's a good fighter to watch. Powerful dude. Dos Anjos and Makhachev.
This is interesting because this is sort of like the pretty much with every. Is that a welterweight fight?
Lightweight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There you go. It's all
Dos Anjos is his best at lightweight for sure.
Oh, 100%. And this is like a test for Makhachev to see if he's ready for the
A gatekeeper, man.
Yeah, ready for the elite. He's a good fighter, no doubt. And if you, like Dana always says, if you can beat Dos Anjos, then you're ready for
The top of
ready for the big leagues.
Yeah, true. And Lauren Murphy, Cynthia Cabello. Well, Cynthia, I guess I'd have to pick on that one.
I don't know Lauren Murphy.
Yeah, I watched your last few fights, but I'd have to say Cynthia would probably. I'd put money on Cynthia for that fight.
There you have it, folks. There are your picks.
Yeah,
Put money down, and if you
lose money, it's not our fault.
it's not our fault. But if you win money, then
It was us.
it was us.
That's right. That's how this works. Is there anything else you want to talk about today? I mean, we're obviously going to come back and do this and talk about a whole bunch more stuff.
Yeah, might save some more stuff for next time.
Yeah, of course.
So we have something to talk about.
We got plenty to talk about, man.
Oh, well, thank you for having me. It's been
Awesome.
pleasure.
Always good having a chat, brother. Thanks for coming in.
Always good.
And next time.
Till next time.
Later, bro.